Hello, today we're going to discuss a simple example for database creation. In this case, I'm going to use this. This is not particularly a complete relational schema, but we can use it to create a database from MS SQL. First, let's open SQL Server Management Studio. If you don't have it, you can look for my video to install it. Now, let's get done with it. While it is opening, you can look at the example. First connect. Okay, first let's create a new query, and now let's create the database. Create database. First let's decide a name for it. This example, I'm going to name it consider the following relations for a database that keeps track of students' enrollment in courses and the books adopted for each course. Okay, let's say student. No, for that I'm going to use this as example 1 because we're going to discuss more examples in upcoming video. Example 1 database. This is just an example for you, or a demonstration. Okay, let's execute this line in order to create the database. Okay, it's been executed. Now let's create the table. A quick reminder, you should be saving these files for this Ctrl+S or Ctrl S. Save it somewhere. Let's save it as example 1 here, or you could browse the files from the tree and you can put it anywhere you desire. Example 1, save. Then let's enter what we're going to do. First, we need to create a table called student. Create table student. In this case, student, all the letters in the student is capitalized, so henceforth create a parenthesis and the semicolon to end here, just like this. Realize this size, it makes it looks a little bit better. That's right. Now let's see the fields. SSN is the field, and I'm going to assume there's it has letters, alphabetic letters and numbers, so char, and I assume it doesn't have more than 10 characters, so 10 for the associated values, a comma for the next following field name. It is name, but use exact form, capital N, simple AME. Then I assume it's a varchar. I'm not going to specify because names can vary depending on their region, and we should allow them to have a larger or longer names or smaller names as well. Then the major, which is particularly a subject, so let's assume it's char. Maybe it could be a number code, so you can use for anything. It should not as long as 20 characters. Let's assume that. You can use any number of desires, I just assume it. For the birth date, Bdate. We're going to use the data type date. Then we could end this, but we're not going to execute it yet. We're going to save it but not execute it. And why? Because you can see there are some primary keys you need to add. So if you want to add the primary key inside the table as a constraint, you need to do it all in the beginning, and then you can do it. And there is another method. You could use the old table method in order to add the primary keys outside the tables, but I'm not going to use it because it complicates these things in this video. We will be discussing all the table keyword, reserved keyword in the next videos. Okay, for the course, let's create the table course. Let's copy paste this and you can reuse it. It saves the time. The table name is course. Let's rename it COURSE, and then course hashtag, which means the course number, course hashtag. I'm going to let it be char 10, and Cname, it is Stella Vacha. I'm not going to change it. And the department, I'm going to let it be char, and I'm going to remove birth date and the comma because it is not required here to put a comma. Okay, now it's done, saved. Now let's create the next table, which is enroll. Let's make a table called enroll. We are not going to execute any of this. Okay, enroll, and SSN course tag. SSN, I believe it's also has mixture of alphabetic letters and numbers, so it's the domain as char and 10 as the character limit. I'm going to assume that it has at least 10 characters or less. Course hashtag is repeated. Quarter, let's add quarter here. Quarter, I'm not sure whether quarter is which kind of a number. I believe I mean, if you don't know what the data type of a particular field, you could just use varchar. It is harmless. You don't even need to put the associated number of values which it can hold. And let's add grade. Let's assume the grade is ABC, likewise char, and I believe grade has at least one value, so let's add 1. To make it safe, I'm going to use 2, but you can use 1, or you could use nothing. Okay, no commas here. It's done. And let's create the next step. I'm going to copy this to make it easier so that I don't have to type again the same thing. Book adoption, book adoption, and for the numbers it has course hashtag. Okay, I don't have to type it again. It has quarter. Okay, I don't have to type it again. And book ISBN. I'm going to delete this, it's not required. Book ISBN, book, let's see how it's written. Book ISBN, okay, 3. Okay, 3. Now let's create the next table. Okay, text. Okay, now let's see book ISBN. Okay, I'm not going to change it. Book title. Oh, I'm sorry, you should remove this. I mean, it will still work, but just remove it. It's not necessary. Okay, now in here we're going to put book title, and it should be I'm going to use varchar, so it's a name, and it could have any number of characters, and I'm not going to assume the number of characters in here. And the publisher, these are no longer required. Publisher, it should be a name as well, so varchar variable characters which it refers. And last but not least, the author, it is also a varchar, so it should be like this. Okay, no commas. And now let's save these files. Okay, now everything is green lines, you can see. Okay, now let's add the primary keys. Okay, let's see. SSN is found in 2 places. SSN, I believe, stands for student number. So SSN should be a primary key. So let's add this constraint. There are multiple number of ways that you could add the SSN as a primary key. One method, which is you could just say here primary key. This is one of the method. The other method is you could say here, when you could say here primary key and say, and put parenthesis inside it, type SSN, and you're good to go. And when you do it, be sure to put a comma if there is something following, a constraint or something like this is followed. Okay, but the best method is not this. You could just put constraint, and let's name our constraint. Let's name it as pk1, which stands for which I refer to as a primary key. This is the first primary key in this database. You could use any name. You could even use a student or something like that, but in this case I'm going to use pk1 for my convenience. And then type primary key, then add SSN, no commas. Okay. Still I'm not going to run this part of the code, because after I'm done with all the foreign keys and the primary keys, it is the time I'm going to run them. It's better, okay, because if you had done this earlier, if there is an error occurred whenever you're trying to add something inside this table, you have to drop the table, or you have to use the alter table commands, but I'm not going to use it here. Okay, let's see the course table. In this table I assume that this course hashtag is the primary key, so let's do it for here. I'm going to copy this for my convenience, put a comma because a statement is going to be followed. Okay, now I'm going to change this primary key value to primary key 2. Could use a course or something like that, it depends on you. In this part you can use any name that you desire, and primary key, change the field name to course hashtag, and no commas. Okay, let's go to the enroll table. Enroll table, you can say that SSN and course hashtag is taken from the same place, student and course. So I assume that these are foreign keys, so let's create it. There are three methods that you can create a foreign keys. One of which is, you can just click here, references, write the table name, which is SSN is in student table, student, and type the field name inside the parenthesis. It is SSN. It's the same as here, same as the field name. The other method is, you could use, you need to put a comma regardless, because statement going to be followed, and type foreign key, then you're going to say SSN, because we are going to refer this field name for the foreign key, because it's the one that is being referencing. So which is reference now? References. Which one? In the student table, the SSN part. But the best method is not this. You can use constraint. I'm going to use fk1. You could use any name here. This is for my convenience. fk1 foreign key, need to have a space between foreign and the key, and then SSN references SSN, and this SSN should be inside a parenthesis, given that it's a field. Whenever in SQL we're writing a statement, the parentheses are always inside a inside this, because for the constraint, or not here, in here. references. Okay, student and for the field name to add to this constraint SSN, because it's also SN. If this is a different name, you have to put that name here. Okay, no comma, it's done. Okay, let's write the second foreign key, which is course hashtag. I'm going to copy this for make it easier. Comma, because a statement is going to be followed, and then fk2 for the second foreign key. You can rename any name that desire that makes it easier for you. What is the foreign game's name? Course hashtag. I'm going to copy it. Always use copy paste, is very easier. Control C, Control V, you know it about it, I believe. And it's taken from this table, the course table. So, oh wait, and it is the same thing is course hashtag. I made a small mistake. If you can see, the student is not the same. You have to use the same name you have given to the table, unless there will be a problem. You have to give student. Okay, now I see no problem here. So let's see where did they get the quarter. I have no idea how they got the quarter from. Quarter is a particular name which could be the primary key of here or here. I quite frankly have no idea where they got it. Let's assume quarter is the primary key of the enroll. Okay, quarter is the primary key. Quarter, which does it refer? Let me check. Quarter. Quarter refers to, okay, let's assume it for enroll, given that when students are enrolling, they're going to be registered to a particular quarter in the particular year. So let's assume that this stands for that. So in this case, I mean, you're not going to use the quarter for book adoption, you're going to use it on enroll. So this should be a primary key for the enroll. Let's put it there. Okay, a comma to be followed like before. Constraint primary key, constraint primary key 3 for my naming convenience, primary keys, and it should be quarter. Yeah, wait, quarter. Okay, no commas here because no statements are followed. For the book adoption, let's see. Course hashtag is a foreign key, quarter is a foreign key, so there are two foreign keys. I'm going to copy these two statements to make it easier for me to add this. You need to have a comma because statements are going to be followed here. Delete this comma in the last statement because you are not going to need it. Foreign key 3 and foreign key 4, and the foreign key in this case is book course hashtag, and it references inside the course table, and the particular field name that it references is inside the course table, course hashtag. Don't get confused for the same naming scheme here. For the constraint foreign key, constraint foreign key 4, the second name is quarter. I should have used this for that, it would be much easier, but okay. Quarter for the foreign key is referenced in the enroll table. I'm going to copy it, and the field name which is used is same as the same name, quarter. Okay, let's see about the text field. Book ISBN. I see a particular problem here. Book ISBN. They use the book ISBN here as well as here. Okay. The problem I get in this case is that, the book ISBN should be the primary key in the text option. So going to have to add that primary key there to copy this statement, and going to make it easier for me. Comma to be followed and constraint primary key 4, I believe, yeah, and the primary key is book ISBN. Okay, if that's the case, the book ISBN is also being used here, the book adoption, but it is not underlined. I think it's a mistake in the question, so I'm going to make it as a foreign key as well to make more accurate. A comma to be followed for the next statement, and constraint for foreign key 5, and it is book ISBN, and to edit references inside the text table, and it is referenced this field book ISBN. Okay, now it's been I saved it unintentionally. Okay, it should be saved. Okay, and primary key, there is no primary key. Book title should be a primary key as well, but I'm not going to change it because it's not stated in the example, but in my opinion it should be a primary key. Some no, it should not be the primary key. I don't know, I'm not sure about it. You could use either book ISBN book title. In this case it is underlined because these are candidate keys. They can both be used as primary keys. I'm going to use one of them. You can't have 2 or more primary keys in a particular table. Okay then, now let's add this table. I believe I run it. You should double check this before you're going to execute it, otherwise it's going to be problematic. So let's run this, and you have to be very careful because first you need to run those which doesn't have any foreign keys, otherwise you prompt an error because the foreign keys not been executed first. Let's see which doesn't have any foreign keys. Okay, both of these which doesn't have any foreign keys, so let's execute this one by one. First execute this table. Don't execute 2 tables at a time. I recommend it you do one by one. Okay, execute. There is a particular error, and what is that? Oh, I see. I made a fatal error here. The fatal error is I haven't changed the server. Sorry, I haven't changed the database. You have to go to there and select our server name, our database name, which is example1, and it's done. Otherwise, if you have already made this particular constraint name used in another database, it's going to take it and says that you have already made it, you cannot make it. That's why it's said here. Now it should work. Okay, yeah, commands completed successfully. Same thing applies here. Okay, command completed successfully. Okay, that's nice. Now let's use the enroll table. Enroll table has multiple foreign keys and primary key. Okay, primary key doesn't have an issue. This foreign key is taken from the student table. This course has taken course table, and both of these tables been executed already, so there won't be an issue executing this particular enroll table. So let's execute it. Can I just yes, I could make it more room here. Okay, that's nice. Let's see about the book adoption. Let's see, foreign key taken from course, foreign key taken from course, so no issues. The quarter is a foreign key which is taken from here, so no problem. Sorry, foreign key here. The text which is books from a book ISBN, which is taken from the text table, so we must first execute. Yes, it doesn't have any foreign key, so it should have been executed first. So let's execute it now. Okay, now it's executed. Now let's execute this. All the foreign keys been executed, all the referenced tables been executed, so that the foreign keys can be executed here as well. Okay, everything is done. Let's see if the table has been created by using a select command. Select statement. Select. Let's select the table which is let's select all of them. I want to display all of the tuples inside particular table from first we're going to display student table, student. Okay, let's execute this line, Control S, and going to execute it. Yeah, SSN name major Bdate. Yeah, SSN name major Bdate. We could use the same statement to display other tables as well. I'm going to copy multiple statements. Okay, select. The next table is course, I believe. They literally provide you the name, so it won't be much harder. Now let's highlight this particular part, execute it. Course hashtag Cname department. Let's see. Course hashtag Cname department. Okay, let's select all from which is the table enroll. Okay, let's execute it. Yeah, SSN enroll, SSN course hashtag quarter grade. Let's print out the next table, which is book adoption. I could just double click it, it will be automatically copied and execute it. Yeah, book ISBN course hashtag quarter. Select. Let's print out text table, book ISBN, book title, publisher. Now you can add the particular data using insert into plus values statement. I'm not going to do it here. In the next video we're going to add data as well. For now we have learned how to create tables and add primary keys and foreign keys. If you have any other questions or any suggestions, please sure to comment down and I'll try my best to help with you. And always remember to save. Okay, don't forget about it. Control S. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.